Yes.
The Daily Statesman newspaper, MPP to register all volunteer groups. The Collins Dowda inciting Nordness is also on the front page of the Daily Statesman. Checkmate Washington. U.S. pushes to steal MCA compact as government urges public to wait for final PDS report.
Now, the final is reporting this morning. One district, one factory, fertilizer factory opens. President urges private sector to partner government to revolutionize agric. And there is one about CSO's work to demand passage of affirmative action bill. And the last one there is on the Collins Dowda virtual ethnic political statement that's been reported to on the front page.
It's a crowded front page stories that we have on the Ghanaian Observer. President Akufo-Addo to outline major strides in national anti-corruption fight. Mahama did nothing for Northerners, reject him. MPP regional chairman. Deputy Minister Schools Dutch ambassador says fighting corruption is central to Ghana beyond aid vision. Fight corruption devoid of politics, Citizens Watch, and Ghana begins exporting food to neighboring countries. That's according to the president.
All right.
Now, the Ghanaian Times is the very last paper before me. It says 500-kilometer Elubo-Aplau railway in pipeline as part of Trans-ECOWAS transportation project. And there's one about a boy who has been arrested in connection with the death of a girl who is 8-year-old. And National Labour Commission summons Nagrat over strike. And the President Akufo-Addo is mourning Mugabe finally.
The Daily Guide newspaper, PDS mails ECG to pay $12 million guarantee. Nana opens another fertilizer factory. Raymond did this. And the Collins Dowda comments are trending on the front pages of the MPP-leaning newspapers. And the Otunfo visits World Bank is also on the front page of the Daily Guide newspaper. That's my last paper.
All right. So before we go into the details, let me just remind the listeners and say good morning to listeners in Kumasi, listening to us on Love 99.5 FM, in Takrady, Radio Max 105.1 FM. What's up, buddy? ATL 100.5 FM in Cape Coast, at 101.1 megahertz in Bolgatanga, Sky FM 96.7 megahertz in Sunyani, and 123 99.7 FM in Tamale. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Thanks to all of you guys. And you guys remember Charles Bissey, right?
Yes.
Charles Bissey, the presidential staffer who is being investigated by the CID.
Yes, and who was trending on social media.
Who was investigated? In fact, if there's any pending investigation, this is from the Office of Special Prosecutor.
Yes, because CID has exonerated him.
Even though Office of Special Prosecutor disagrees.
And he's celebrating that exoneration.
Even though the CID itself says that it didn't have all the documents that it required.
Yeah, and he's celebrating that exoneration in grand style.
We should celebrate the man.
No, he is celebrating his marriage over the weekend to the Deputy Information Minister. Remember? And Malik, we were mentioning how his pictures are trending all over social media.
Yes, they have been all over the place on social media. There are also comments on social media as well, which can be very defamatory, which I will not repeat here.
Well, you know what? Before we get into the details, congratulations, Charles. Before we get into the details, Raymond, I got a call from a mother who is trying to check the school that her child got into. And
yesterday, I received similar calls too, and we checked with the GES. As of last night, they were working on it. They gave a 4 a.m. deadline that it will be up and running. I checked the website. The website is running, but still, some people have had difficulties accessing and checking. Perhaps it's because of the volume of traffic that's going into there. Just that the excuse of volume of traffic is virtually given every single year.
Yeah, because there are ways that, Facebook definitely has a lot more traffic than the CSSPS websites, but
Facebook
we don't get...
Anyway,
it's not just about money, Raymond.
Anyway,
yes. So please, if you're a parent or you're a student, you want to go into SHS and you're trying to check your placement and you're unable to do so, please send us a message on 0244340437. We just want to see how the situation is with the placements checking for senior high school.
Because these are sometimes very trying times for prospective students and all that. And ask yourself, how many days will they have to go to school? But as we are told, there's some action being done to make sure that the problem is worked on and people can get checked where they are placed.
Definitely.
And that's just the first step anyway.
Definitely. Let's get to it then. And a woman has drowned in a water reservoir.
Yes, this is a 45-year-old woman. She's called Mami Ajua. In fact, she slipped and drowned in a reservoir when she attempted to fetch water, leading to her death. This happened in Anomabo in the central region, and this happened yesterday. Now, the central regional director of NADMO said it took them 7 hours to be able to retrieve the body of the woman after she had drowned when they were called upon to do so in this particular reservoir. And he explains the difficulty in trying to get the right people to be able to do the retrieval of this particular body. And the core of this is that this is a woman who had struggled to get water because water was not running for a very long time. And in a quest to find alternative means of supplying water and use for the family, she actually ended up losing her life. We shouldn't, in this century, have periods where basic amenities like water and the quest to have access to them should lead to the death of anybody at all.
I mean, it's shameful.
Yes, it doesn't say well about somewhat development statistics that sometimes we say to ourselves, and we are happy about the coverage of water across the country. But these are the stories that tell you that there are still real problems that ought to be fixed immediately.
Definitely, Raymond. And this is something that we cannot sit by and watch happen each and every day. But corruption steals the money that is supposed to provide water for these people.
That is why the president is dealing with it, and he's going to outline, according to Information Minister Kojo Nkrumah, the president will today outline the strides that have been made in his anti-corruption agenda. The Chronicle newspaper reports that this is in tandem with the president's avowed commitment to protecting the public purse and curbing the penchant for corruption in the country. Now, according to Kojo Nkrumah, the president will be outlining these measures that he's implementing in dealing with corruption at the annual bar conference, which is happening in your home region of Takoradi. Now, the information minister said the president will first account for what he has done so far in the fight against corruption. Then he would outline new measures that his government is undertaking in its efforts to deal with corruption. Now there's Remo, why are you raising your hand? There's a campaign.
Yeah, we're on radio.
There's
Raymond.
a campaign
Raise
for
your hand.
Yeah. This is not. We are not in the parliamentary chamber.
The campaign.
You have not caught
Malik.
the speaker's eye.
The campaign. Malik.
Yes. So there's a campaign for Ghana beyond corruption. The government believes that a lot has been done in dealing with corruption, and they listed a number of things that have happened, which indicates that the president's commitment to fighting corruption is unwavering. They cite the suspension of the PPA boss, Mr. Ajenim Boateng,
as a result of Manasseh's investigation.
Donkumi. Then they cite the dismissal of the National Youth Authority boss and his two deputies as some of the examples of the president's commitment about corruption, fighting corruption as well. So let's see what the president says at the annual bar conference today as far as corruption fight is concerned.
Raymond, your hand
Raymond
was
doesn't sound convinced at all.
No, see, prior to the 2016 election, the president made a very profound statement about using the ANAS principle in fighting corruption. Today, I'll be very glad if the executive president tells us how far we have gone
There's a
with
response
the implementation of the
There's a
ANAS
response
principle.
for you. That the government expects that the anti-corruption fight will be focused on verifiable facts rather than conjecture and suspicion.
Oh, ANAS principle. I'm not the one who said it, though. It is the president who said it.
Yes.
So
verifiable facts.
I
yes,
see.
Not conjecture.
That is the ANAS principle.
Not conjecture.
No, but I thought that the ANAS principle would be to actually commission journalists to go out there or commission investigators to go out there and get these persons who are.
But the state does not need journalists to do this. The state has all the resources, if it's so minded, to find all the things that journalists find. With all our incapacity, we find things that the state simply can't find, or is not interested in finding, or looks away.
Okay. Mr. President, ANAS principle update. Anyway, now there's a story that you should be interested in, Daniel.
Before you bring that story, Raymond, I have a response on some of the messages I put out today. He says, good morning. I went through their website. You're talking about CSSPS, and I found a short code that I can text to get placement. But when I text, nothing comes up. It keeps consuming my airtime. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so that's one concern that we have. You can also go on cssps.gov.gh, check there and see if you can find the placements for your ward. We want to know what's going on there. Raymond.
The National Labour Commission has summoned NAGRAT. The NAGRAT is the National Graduate Teachers Association. They are the guys who've been teaching in the various senior high schools. And the basic concerns they have actually outlined, not last week, they came out on Thursday specifically. They came out to complain that many of the things they have actually been going back and forth with government on has not been resolved. They are worse off than they used to be in times past, and their issues are becoming threatening of their very conditions of operation as teachers at that level.
Collective bargaining agreement, promotion letters, promotion interviews, all of those matters.
So all of this put together is why they declared their strike. But the National Labour Commission says that as is expected of the normal processes established in law,
They should negotiate first.
Section 139 of Act 651, they have the power, especially if you didn't give them notification prior to embarking on the strike.
Okay.
And the strike is supposed to be the last option or the last, what they call it, action you can take in this case. So you notify us. If you're unable to resolve the problem, then you proceed to whichever action that, and there's a long procedure established in law for them to do so. They believe that NAGAT, as of now, did not follow this particular process and ought to be brought back to the table for them to reverse their action so that they can proceed to follow the processes required. Because really, you cannot be on strike and be negotiating somewhat under duress or putting the people on the other side under duress. It will be in bad faith. And just that we've gone through this process virtually every single year.
That's
where
the labor union.
yes, and they'll declare a strike and they bring them back. They say you have to go through some process. Indeed. Then they say, okay, we'll follow the process, and yet they stay out of the classroom for the periods. I'm just worried why we keep allowing, because I remember one of the major things that the current Labour Minister said, that the reasons why we are not seeing strikes under this government is because this government is very close to Labour and it's fixing the problems of Labour.
Yeah.
So Labour is not out there making the noise that's required or has done in times past. We hope that they don't allow this strike to laser.
Maybe there's now a distance between the...
They need to bridge that particular gap.
Where have they gone to? They should come back.
Anyway.
Let's go to Indum in court.
Yeah, so the Today newspaper is reporting the High Court, as ordering lawyers of the Bank of Ghana, the Minister of Finance, the Attorney General, to not do anything that will undermine an application before the court. And this is an injunction application brought by Indum and two others, saying that the revocation of the GN Savings and Loans license by the Central Bank on the basis that it was insolvent should be reversed, and that there should be an order by the court saying that there's no basis at all for the Central Bank to make the claims that it made, on the basis of which they took the decision to reverse the license, to suspend the license or to revoke it. Now, you know that there are two schools of thought when you bring these kinds of applications to court. There are some lawyers who believe that once you bring an application for injunction, it operates naturally as an injunction.
Yeah.
Some disagree with that and say merely filing an application cannot and should not operate as an injunction unless it is granted by a court of law. Now, this story is saying the judge, Justice Kumsin, asked the lawyers to not do anything at all to undermine the processes because this application is pending and will be heard. And the lawyers have actually been ordered. The lawyers for the Attorney General, the Minister of Finance, the Bank of Ghana have been ordered to file their defense in 8 days so that the application can be heard. And a determination will be made whether or not there is merit and whether the injunction should be granted.
Now, let me bring in Collins Dowder's comments. And now it's been reported that what he has said, in the run-up to the 2016 election, the man made comments to the effect that the NPP is always against Muslims, and throughout its history, especially for the UP area, it has been like that. This is being repeated. In fact, now he's saying that people of northern descent in this constituency, their Sutifi South, should know that they can never have a progressive life in the NPP because the NPP doesn't like their kind. Of course, this is purely ethnocentric. It's not only unreasonable. It combines regionalism and ethnicity at the same time. So politicians do it to suit themselves. At one point in time, say northern descent. What does it mean? Savannah, northeast, OT region, or he means upper east, upper west, or northern region.
Or Bonny East.
Yes, so it is that deliberate attempt to be mischievous to their advantage and exploit the differences within people. I thought we have moved beyond this one. Kolizada and Co. should upgrade their politics to the one that is on issues, substance, not the 14th century one that is on.
That's assuming
pure-
that these comments reflect exactly what
Exactly
he said.
what he
Clearly.
said. It's an important point you raised there, Malik. Anyway, let's move to the online news review. And before that, let me tell you about the Enterprise Funeral Finance Plan Unlimited. With the Enterprise Funeral Finance Plan Unlimited, you have no limits and no restrictions. You're free to choose your premiums, policy lifespan, beneficiaries, and even your benefits. No age restrictions and no lapse. Sign up for the Enterprise Funeral Finance Plan Unlimited today for your own good. Enterprise, your advantage. Now, the online news review is brought to you by Zenith Bank in your best interest and Goyle Good Energy. Make your day productive by relying on quality fuel from Goyle, your 3-time CIMG Petroleum Company of the Year. Goyle Super XP and Diesel XP are additivated to enhance strong engine performance and prolong the lifespan of your vehicle. Above all, you are guaranteed extra quality with our fuel analyzer from our mobile laboratory van. Get your money's worth every day by buying fuel and lubricants from any of Goyle's over 360 service stations nationwide and experience good energy. Buy Goyle. Grow Ghana. Goyle Good Energy. Goyle Yenara Yedia. Travel light, shop light, pay light, and live light with Zenith Bank's array of electronic banking products. Whether you are a corporate entity or an individual, Zenith Bank has an electronic products to cater for your unique financial needs. Sign up today for Zenith Bank's electronic banking solutions and enjoy the convenience of banking on the go. Go light with Zenith Bank. It's faster and smarter. Zenith Bank, in your best interest. MyJOnline.com says, don't mix student politics with national politics, SRC's told. Wenchi royal families completely reject purported selection of Wenchihine by the Ohima. Police NADMO begin investigations into Abosi Okai fire. StarFMOnline.com has cholera looms as contractors abandon toilet projects over non-payment, and a 51-year-old trader takes advantage of free SHS. The BBC.com also has US Open 2019. Rafael Nadal beats Daniel Medvedev to win the 19th Grand Slam title. Congratulations to Nadal. We'll be right back. Stay with us.